you've seen everything, you've seen all this stuff, and now you're starting to make stuff and starting to produce and do these kind of things. But finding those people that did you just know, like when people walk in the room, you just know, oh, this one's special?
I think it's as simple as just thinking, man, if she had a TV show, I'd watch it.
Right.
Right. Like when I was a kid, I loved Andy Kaufman. And then one day someone said, he's going to be in this TV show called Taxi. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best thing I've ever heard.
Right.
And I think that's how I always looked at it and tried to keep it that simple. Just, oh man, Seth is so funny on, in Freaks and Geeks and Undeclared. Oh, we should have him in this movie. Oh, I think he could be the lead.
Right.
I think I'd want to watch the whole movie with him.
Right.
And then that's kind of it.
That's it.
Like, it doesn't matter if they're famous or not famous. Just my interest in them as people.
Right.
Both comedically, dramatically, their essence.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is like the type of person I want to know more about.
Right.
In a story.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. And Colin Quinn's not one of those people.
Colin Quinn, I did a pilot. There you go. Colin Quinn was in Trainwreck as Amy's dad.
I love that. I didn't realize that he had backed away from Celtic Pride.
That's right. He had a script called Celtic Pride.
Yeah.
About fans of the Boston Celtics who kidnap a player from the Utah Jazz so their team can win.
Yeah.
And it was a great script and like really edgy.
Yeah.
Like a lot of drugs and gambling and I had to say to him, like, the NBA will not allow you to do this version of this.
Yeah.
And he gave the blessing for us to
go
ruin it.
Yeah, to do the worst version of it. But I mean, I hate to say this because it'll get back to him, but he's just so special.
Oh,
Colin is so prolific. I don't know anyone who writes more often and more deeply and more on the nose. Like he just gets he gets humanity in a way that other people really don't.
Well, I met Colin when I was living with Adam Sandler after college, and Adam was doing Remote Control, which was the game show, and Colin was the sidekick announcer to Ken Ober.
Right.
And Sandler would come out, and he was like the question. He'd come out in a character with the question for the game show, like he'd be Stud Boy or somebody. And so we spent a lot of time with Colin around then. Yeah. And he was a little bit older than us, but seemed way wiser.
Yes.
And clearly way more talented and deep and funny. And he was a great mentor to Adam, and I got to hang with him a bit, and he was so nice, and through the years he's someone we all look up to, and it gets better by the year. It's like he's our Tom Waits or our Randy Newman,
right?
And he was so good in Trainwreck,
so good. One of the most terrifying moments in my career was officiating Colin's wedding. Because I was the officiant for Colin and Jen, and I've done other weddings that he was at, and no one sees bullshit better than Colin. So that I was going to be 6 inches from him on his wedding day, telling jokes. I worked on that harder than anything I did in my career. I rewrote it for 6 months. When I was done, I was exhausted. I'm like, I'm never doing that again for anybody.
I know. He does also, like, the people like him that make you nervous, like when you're performing or when you're around them, because he's so much better than me.
I know.
like you feel like you're going to be revealed in it completely somehow. Yeah. There was a funny story where my manager Jimmy was eating with Jim Carrey and Colin Quinn. Was at the restaurant. And he walked over to the table, and he just starts pitching Jim a screenplay for him and Jim. And he's just pitching it very like seriously. I don't want to interrupt you, but it's like me and you and we're forest rangers and the thing. And he just keeps going and going for like a really long time, making them incredibly uncomfortable that he won't stop pitching. But it's a joke. Like he's just fucking with them, but they don't know because he's playing it so real.
Yeah, he would always one of his go-to lines would always be, "Do you? I don't have a script or anything, but do you buy ideas?" Man, here's a nice Mad magazine. A mad peek behind the scenes of Apatow Productions. Oh, it's so good to be shit on by Mad Magazine. What an accomplishment. Talk to me about Seth Rogen.
Well,
he was here on the program. He took my bread. I think he liked it.
Oh yeah, I bet he ate it. The bread. I believe he's a bread eater.
Yeah,
I don't think he tossed it.
And he was so good in the studio. But you met him when he was what?
16.
16.
You know, he read for Freaks and Geeks. We saw it on tape. So you get a tape, and there's like 40 people reading.
Yeah.
And Paul had written some generic freak scenes, and one of them was like a kid doing a monologue about how he has a dream of having an underground pot farm, and then when the cops come, he could always like blow the entrance. And then they just think it's a cornfield. And he's like explaining this like stoned theory of like the underground grow lights. Yeah. And he did it so funny.
Right.
And so we had to bring, the whole cast to NBC to get them approved. But there was a transition in the head of NBC. So the head of NBC was now kind of the money guy. The creative guy had left and they hadn't replaced him yet.
Oh, geez.
So this higher up guy was kind of in charge for a moment.
Oh, no.
And then we had this tape of Seth, and I somehow pulled some scam where I'm like, yeah, he's up in Canada, and this guy too. And I was just him on tape, so Seth didn't have to fly down. And that guy approved the entire cast, which never happens.
Wow.
Usually they interfere and go, you have these three and not these two, and that's why shows are bad.
Yeah,
but this guy didn't know to try to take over.
Right.
And he just said, oh yeah, this all seems good. And that's why the cast was good. And so
that's amazing.
And then Seth would be, we didn't really know what he was capable of because in the beginning, he was a guy making kind of wisecracks.
Right.
And, just like the funny, sharp, edgy friend.
Yeah.
Who would just pop in with the great, vicious line.
Yeah.
But the more we got to know him and the more we saw him work, we were like, wait, he's a sweetheart.
Right.
So underneath that is a super sweet guy.
Right.
And that's funny that he's kind of edgy, but a softie. And we would see him improvise when we were trying to fix scenes sometimes. And we were like, oh, he's a writer.
Yeah.
Because what he's improvising is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we did Undeclared the next year and brought him on. He was 18 as a writer. And he wrote amazing episodes.
And he'd already written Superbad on his own with his friend.
At like 14.
At 14.
Yeah, and he had a
very similar thing to you, really. Like he had a real comedy obsession as a kid.
Yeah, the energy to really work hard. He was doing stand-up, I think, at like 15.
Yeah.
And so when the shows ended, we were all just like, well, what do we do now? And we all just started writing.
Right.
No one would make any of it.
Right.
And then finally they made, Anchorman, and then the floodgates opened, and suddenly they were interested in all the things that we had all written.
Right.
But we just kept writing even though no one would let us do anything.
Right.
We didn't stop writing the next one, which is kind of the lesson. Like Superbad, no one was going to make it.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I have this idea about like a pot dealer like running from assassins,
right?
And then we put the grow lights concept from the Freaks and Geeks audition in it, because that's it ends in that barn underground,
right.
So no good ideas left unused. And then they wrote that, and then no one would make that,
right.
And then finally, after Anchorman did well, and then and I think it was Talladega Nights. After that, and 40-Year-Old Virgin, then they were like, well, what else do you have? Oh, we happen to have all this other stuff. Forgetting Sarah Marshall sitting here, and this is sitting here. And,
jeez. I mean, just that short little list right there. That was like, man, that was the biggest moment in comedy at that time, was just those films. Yeah. It was huge.
And everyone was helping everybody.
Right.
So because there were a bunch of things floating, we would do table reads, and everyone would come to all the table reads and help punch up and pitch in. And that's why I think the quality was really high, because you would do just Forgetting Sarah Marshall table read, and Seth and Evan would show up, and then you do Superbad, and Siegel would show up, and and that really made a big difference.
And just kind of feeding off each other. Amazing.